Shalom, shalom. This is Elder Stephen, and I have a class for you tonight. The class is about the oath. The class is going to go into a little bit about how the Israelites were not the only ones to take the oath. If you've been following this series, you should know by now that primarily we were sent to teach the Gentiles. The Gentiles are very special to the Most High. And the Most High commanded the Israelites, whom he gave the law to teach every creature. And the Israelites didn't do that. And the Israelites were punished for not doing that. So now we get to the end. It's not hard to see all of the different signs of things coming to pass in the Bible. So the time has come where the Israelites have to ensure that all people are trained on Christ's doctrine. And that's what we teach here at Elders of Israel. This video is primarily geared toward the Gentiles. However, anyone can listen. Israelites can listen as well. But the things that we're focusing on, we're focusing on what the Gentiles have to know. The Most High extended his hands out to the Israelites. He's had his hands extended to the Israelites for thousands of years. Primarily, the Israelites have rejected the Most High. And so we move to the Gentiles. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to focus on this oath and how the Most High views oaths and what he does once an oath is taken, how seriously he takes that oath. All right? So get your notepads, your pens, and your Bibles, apocryphas, and follow along. And we're going to try and be as concise as we can so that you have the precepts to show that what the Bible is saying can be backed up with the precepts. So write them down. All right? Now, it's important that you think spiritual, because a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about, you're not going to be able to see it in a carnal sense. You have to be willing to open your mind up and think spiritual. Christ's doctrine was a spiritual doctrine. Every time he answered a question, he answered in the spiritual form. That's the covenant, the spiritual covenant. We are no longer under Moses' law, no longer under his covenant. We're under the covenant of Christ. His covenant is spiritual. So if you open your mind and look at the precepts, the spiritual precepts will guide you to the truth. The carnal precepts is what is used to confuse the people, to have people believing in fairy tales and all of these old wives' tales and such, and it's used in order to give power to the people who are controlling Israel right now, which they don't represent the Most High. But if you open your mind, think spiritual, you'll get it. Then that way you'll be able to change, because our job is to teach you so that you can kill the old man, because the Gentiles are very special to the Most High. And some of the things that we're going to learn from this class, you're going to see just how special he considers the Gentiles. So let's get started. Okay, so now that you know that the spiritual law that Christ left us is for all men, we want to focus on the oath that the mixed multitude made in Deuteronomy 29, and we're going to start at verse 10. So let's get Deuteronomy 29, verse 10. Remember, think spiritual. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger. The stranger are the Gentiles. Those are the people that was in that mixed multitude that ran up out of Egypt with the Israelites. The Most High is specifically including the stranger. Now watch what he says. Remember this part. Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp. From the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. Hewer of thy wood and drawer of thy water means something very special spiritually. We're going to get to it, but remember that particular verse. Verse 12, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord thy God and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day. That verse just said that all of the people mentioned above. He mentioned the captains of the tribes, the elders, officers, the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and the strangers. So, verse 12 is speaking about all of those people. They are the context. Let's read it again. That thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord thy God, and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day. That's saying that the strangers, the Gentiles who were in the wilderness with Israel, took the oath as well as the Israelites. That's what that's saying. I don't care what anyone says. That says that everybody who was in the wilderness took the oath. The Most High made Moses put that in there, because he knew one day somebody was going to tell a lie and say, oh, that ain't talking about those strangers. It's talking about the northern kingdom. That's talking about the strangers, the mixed multitudes. All right? Verse 13. That he may establish thee today for a people unto himself. So he's saying those strangers are his people too. And that he may be unto thee a God, as he has said unto thee, and as he has sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. The thing is, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were teachers. Spiritually, some of the stories that's written in the Bible, they're written spiritually, and you don't know what they mean. Whenever it's talking about Abraham and those wells, there's water. Ephesians 5 and 26. The water is the word. He was a teacher. He was a preacher. He was a prophet. That's what Abraham was doing. So was Isaac. All of our forefathers, they were creating converts. So the people who they were teaching were being circumcised. He was converting them. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were converting all the people to the law of the Most High. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were converting all the people to the law of the Most High.